Good morning, good afternoon, or indeed good evening, and welcome to Pit Road Productions, or indeed to the Almeida Racing Academy YouTube channel. By all means, thank you very much for joining us. We're here for live for the Almeida Racing League here today at Navarra. Now, my name is Daniel Zippy Salmon, and joining me in the production booth today, the one, the only, put your drinks up in the air, have a toke, and put your hands together for the one and only Mr. Richard Swindells.
Hey, Zippy.
Attaboy.
glad to be here this evening, or this morning, this evening, this afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Should be a very interesting race here. Only 8 turns on this circuit, Zippy.
Yeah, certainly Navarra, one of the more unfamiliar circuits to us here at Pit Road Productions. It is not on the Princess approved track list, but certainly we're going to get a little bit more familiar with it. Certainly not to the level that the Almeida Racing Academy students have. But before we get too excited, let's indeed see where we've been and where we're going. We started off at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park with round 1. What an absolute iconic circuit, with Oschersleben round 2. Lime Rock Park took us there for round 3, and then Lebanon for round 4.
Yeah. For round 5, we've got Tsukuba coming up, or we had Tsukuba. We're well past that. Sorry, folks. Round 6, we were at VIR. Round 7, Okayama. Round 8, Montreal, Circuitville, Villeneuve. Oh, wow. Having problems with the voice today. Yeah, round 9, we're here at Navarra. We're going to go to Muskoka next week, and we're going to wrap up we're going to go to Brands Hatch thereafter to wrap up the season. We've got September 12th, a special event for Pit Roads Productions.
Indeed, we have. It's going to be the late model stock of VIR. We're going to tell you a little bit more about that later. But right now, the race format, the drivers have had an hour of practice with 15 minutes of open qualifying. Open meaning that they have got other cars on track. Race number 1 is going to be 15 minutes, with race 2 being a randomized invert. For race 3 being a 20-minute feature with the grid set by heat number 2. There's no fast repair, and it is going to be a fixed setup as well. But certainly, if you want to be involved, you have got to be a member. This is for gold members only, and certainly if you want to become a member, this is how. By all means, take a look here at the Almeida Racing League. Absolutely incredible stuff here. They do have some free training available as well, but take a look. Starter courses, racing technique development guide, 5 academy trial challenges, and indeed access to a 13,000 plus member Discord community. They are without a doubt the best coaching service you can find on the planet. And if you feel you need a more intricate touch and the gold member doesn't quite do it for you, why not book one of the Almeida Academy coaches? You can book Swallow himself, you can book Kane Halliburton, incredibly potent, or indeed book a real-life NASCAR Canada driver that is the one and only Mr. Connor Bell. So certainly plenty of opportunities here. But before we get too excited, let's take a look here at the championship points here as well. Starting off with the Academy overall.
Yeah, right now, leading is Ian Joyner with a pretty commanding lead this race. Second place, German Yunes, 1,054 points, but just 11 points back. We've got Jeffrey Adkins, then we've got Timothy Ang and Kevin Lowe. They're pretty close together, as is Todd Wagner in 6th, and Ivan Holiday 7th. There's Muller in 8th, Brian Smesky in 9th, and Zachary Dickinson rounding out your top 10.
Well, that is the Academy overall. We're taking a look at the Premier split that we have on the top of the standings. A former champion, it's Ian Joyner, an absolutely potent force behind the wheel. He's there leading the charge with Timothy Ing in 2nd. Kevin Lau very closely behind in 3rd with about 14 points. Bit of zippy math. I know Rich is going to love that. With about 14 points behind is Kevin Lau. With Jeremy Childers, actually, without a doubt, his strongest season we've seen so far. He's there in 4th. With, I can't see that. Oh, Bas van der Lee, my apologies. I need to put my glasses on. He's there in 5th with 824 points. But looking here at the Club Class standings with Richard Swindells.
Yeah, the Club Class standings. Philip Falcon has got himself a pretty commanding lead right now over Anthony Ori, who's got a pretty commanding lead over Rich Meesters. Ilya Arnio is in 4th. Charles Krasik in 5th. Then we've got Norman Wren in 6th, Kevin Adrian, Michael Cords, Colonel Kasim, and Tyler Hocker rounding out the top 10.
Oh, absolutely fantastic stuff here. We do love some championship standings indeed. What an absolutely incredible battle. But the question is, who is going to be emerged the champion this week? That looks like Rich Meesters having a little bit of a scenic detour. But one thing I can tell you, taking a look through here, I do not see an Almeida Academy coach this week. Certainly Connor Bell, I believe, is out racing NASCAR Canada. I'm not sure what Swelly's up to. And indeed, I'm not sure where Kane Halliburton is. But why don't we try and find a car to go on board with? As you can see, Carl Diaz-Castro, currently there in the draft here. Looking to try and keep hold of his P1. Is actually, wow. Rich, take a look at this. It looks like it's an absolute deadly 2 thousandths of a second between himself and Tim Ying for the top spot of the grid.
Yeah, well, tons of time there. Somebody can slip it right in between them. There's still 1/1000th differential in there. You know, somebody gets certainly slip into seconds. We take a look at somebody spinning around in the back. Lots of race action, or lots of action going on in qualifying. You see, look at these drivers lined up nose to tail. We're on board here with Kyle Diaz-Castro going into turn 2 here, just past turn 1. Turn 2, a little bit of and now we've got this very decreasing turning of turn 3. Drivers definitely wanting to be in the draft, especially down that long straight, down the pit straight. And then we've got somewhat of a longish straight coming up here right after this little kink here. Drivers are going to go full out, and wow, a little bit slipping and sliding going on beside Kyle Diaz-Castro. As you take a look at him coming up into turn 6, like I said, it's only an 8-corner circuit going up the inside, and we're kind of running out of room. Kyle Diaz-Castro kind of having to bail out of it there.
Yeah, it definitely looks like we're doing a little bit of a different layout here of Navarra. Certainly does ring a bell as well. I think Bas van der Lee was mentioning it last week, but I do have to wonder what kind of racing we're going to get out of this. And certainly we're going to wish the very best of recovery as well to Jens Carr, who's my fellow Englishman. He's currently not feeling well, not racing today, but certainly do feel better soon, my friend. And we also got Cairo Enns joining us in the chat as well. Hey, Cairo, hope your young offspring is developing very well.
You know what, Zippy, that would, whoa, another big slip and slide going on. That would explain why this track doesn't look so familiar to me, because we're doing the short version here. I know I've raced at Navarra, but I certainly have never attempted this circuit. So definitely going to be an interesting little battle as we're going on board with the shirtless, topless. Yes, it's legal, folks. Kevin Adrian. Always entertaining watching Kevin Adrian drive around the track. He's got the in-car camera for us to take a look at. Always exciting racer.
Well, certainly the man is oozing so much manliness and so much pace that he has had to remove a shirt. Certainly reminds me a little bit of Scrawl, actually, from Cletus's channel. Certainly a very different audience indeed. But Kevin Adrian currently there, P26 overall, P12 in the club class. Are we going to see him move up? Certainly the draft here is monumental, and he has not managed to go faster. Incredibly close racing, though. I say racing, incredibly close timing here. As let's take an eye on some of the other drivers. This one in particular, Jonathan Hobson. He was pretty potent at the last round, certainly in Montreal. He had pace. I do have to wonder, though, are we going to see the same kind of result out of him here at Navarra?
Well, that remains to be seen. The driver from Norway, also another car with a camera. That's, you know, folks, if you've got your cameras, put them up, post them up. That'll certainly help you get a little bit more airtime, because we're not saying we're biased, but it gives another perspective to the viewers at home.
It sure does, and certainly myself absolutely loving it. We've got an even better turnout on cameras than I think we've had for a while as well. We've got the usual suspects in here, but we've got a couple of older gentlemen. Now, certainly we've seen this man before, but not often. Let me see if I can find him here. There he is. One of our German drivers, indeed, a man after your own heart there, Rich, in which reigns, he's got grey hair.
Well, yeah, he's got more hair than I do, Zippy. You know, Zoltan Zamatar, you know, I've called several races for Almeida now, and he's always seems to be there, always seems to do pretty decently. So nice to see him having the cameras alive and showing them off. And Zoltan, good job. Kudos to you. Look forward to see what you can do today. Get things done right now. He's sitting about 23rd place with just under 4 minutes left, or just over 4 minutes left in qualifying.
Well, what I can tell you is that Ian Joyner has managed to find himself at the top of the food chain yet again. 6,349 I rate. It's fair to say this guy can wheel a car, and he's currently about 7/100ths of a second clear of Carl Diaz-Castro. Timothy Ing, who we were talking about a little bit earlier, he's there in P3. Jacob Seepley, a little bit inconsistent. It varies on the track, I feel, but he's currently up there in P4, one of our only Polish drivers we have here today. Let's keep an eye on this man as well, though. Philip Falcon, without a doubt, his strongest season to date, and he's currently in P14 overall, if not P3 in the club class as well. Fair play to him. He's somebody to keep an eye out on.
Yeah, it certainly is. Sitting P3 in club class, so looking to have a little bit of an improvement this day. Right now, he's doing well so far. And we're taking a look here at Matthew Johnson. Matthew Johnson sitting 6th overall right now, and having himself quite the banger of a qualifying effort, Zippy.
Well, certainly he is not wearing the most trendy of headgear. He is wearing a VR headset, and certainly that to start another argument as well myself. I don't think I'd want to try it. I do get motion sick as it is, and I don't think it's going to work out in my favor.
I love VR.
But certainly Richmond,
I love VR.
He loves it. I can't watch the YouTube videos as easy as with VR. It's just a little bit too up and downy for me. But
yeah, you know what? I ran VR for 1 year. As you take a look at Johnson going down the inside, I ran VR for a full season, and then I loved it. But I eventually switched to triples just because, well, I wanted to see what triples were like, and then I never put the VR headset back on because it's certainly a lot cooler when you're not wearing it. But you don't get that 3D perspective on the triples that you do in VR.
Well, here is a man who is also rocking that VR approach. And not only that, he's an older man such as yourself. Rich Meese is there, a fellow Canadian.
Kid. He's a kid.
He's a kid. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize
though.
that you were that much older, Richard. But certainly, rich and rich action here at Pit Road Productions. And currently, he's there in P number 22, P9 in the club class.
Yeah, we got just under 2 minutes remaining in qualifying here at Navarra. So far, it's still pretty tight up at the front, but not to this degree it was earlier, Zippy, when we were only 2 1,000ths of a second apart. But take a look at Bas Vanderlee. Bas almost always has that camera running. We appreciate it, Bas. Bas from the Netherlands, where they're racing in Formula One this weekend.
Well, certainly we know who he's going to probably be cheering for, the odds of Max Verstappen, unless he really has found an extra bit of extra class and starts cheering for Lando Norris. But I do have to wonder as well, just how... It was a statement, not an opinion there, Richard. It wasn't looking for your feedback on that. We'll play the game now. Who are you cheering for, Richard?
Well, I don't cheer for the guy who has to ask his race engineer how to turn into a corner and get more pace. I figure the driver at that level should already know how to do that, like every other driver on the field, except for Lando Norris, the champion. But I'm just looking for a good race, and anybody but George Russell. I hope he doesn't get injured, but I hope he finishes dead last.
Well, certainly, definitely a little bit of shade thrown this way because George Russell actually grew up about, I'd say, 2 hours from where I did. So certainly... while he is not my favourite driver, he is somebody who I'd like to see do well, and certainly he's a lot faster than Richard Swindells to be round in a Formula One car. Because I don't think, despite the fact it's an open
cockpit, just too swarmy for me.
I don't think Richard Swindells would actually fit in a Formula One car because of the size of his head.
Well, heck, I couldn't even get my fat butt into the seat, so we wouldn't even have to worry about that. But qualifying's getting ready to wrap up, folks. Just a few seconds left. We take a look at Rubish Beneni going down the long straightaway, or the longest straightaway here at Navarra Short Course. But that's going to wrap it up. Time has expired.
Well, that is the thing with this heat race as well. You do not get extra time to finish your lap. It is indeed cut and shut. But let's take a look here at our first grid of the day. Starting off on the pole, it's going to be Ian Joyner alongside Carl Diaz Castro. Timothy Ying takes third with Tuca Valcaseo in fourth. Jacob Steveley takes fifth with Kevin Lau in sixth. Jeremy Childers in seventh. And Rupesh Beneni in eighth. Good to see him back. Matthew Johnson takes the club class pole in P9 with Anthony Ori, who we also saw on the BIS Formula 3 Championship just earlier this week. He's there in P number 10.
And then in 11th, we've got Ilariarnio. 12th, we've got Bas Vanderlee. In 13th place, we've got Manuel Hoffer. In 14th, we've got Jonathan Hobson. 15th, Brian Lindsay. In 16th, Philip Falcon. Zoltan Zamator. 17th, Charles Krasik. In 18th. Then in 19th, we've got Kevin Adrian. And rounding out your top 20, we've got, well, who do we got? We've got Kemal Kasim.
In 21st place, the Czech driver Andrzej Svoboda is going to be there alongside our fellow Canadian Rich Meesters in 22nd. Dominicus Conservisius takes 23rd with Marcus Vorpol in 24th. Sarunas Bruzga, the Lithuania driver, in 25th with Michael Kors alongside in 26th. Lance Tamashiro, he's going to be in 27th with Mark Schroeder in 28th. Steve Saunders in 29th, and then Kane Halliburton Has he made an appearance? He could be there in P30. I'm taking a look. He has joined the server, but are we going to see him on the grid? We are, ladies and gentlemen. Kane Halliburton, royalty himself, is going to be joining us here at Navarra.
You know, this is I think it's the only second time I've actually seen one of the coaches actually make an appearance. Nice to see Kane, a late joiner here. Going to start from the back. Let's see what he can do against all the students.
Well, certainly it's going to be an absolute belter and a standing start here at Navarra. The lights are up. Are you ready to go racing here? It's going to be a belter. And green, 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 and away we go. Ian Joyner on the pole, and already you can see there Timothy Ing. What a launch there. The field is going to try and get into single file as quickly as humanly possible. But right now, Ian Joyner, your race lead. Side by side, though, further back, as it looks like Jeremy Childers going side to side here with Kevin Lau.
Yeah, I think Yerlo misspoken there, Zippy. I don't think they're going single file as quickly as possible. They're going 2, 3, sometimes 4 wide, a little bit deeper in the midfield in the back. And yeah, they've got them stretched out nose to tail, the first 3 Ford cars, but back in the midfield, looks like everybody getting through cleanly, though, despite a little bit of chaos and going 4 wide.
Well, here you can see Rupesh Manandi trying to make a move here. Gets on the inside of Jeremy Childers and is going to try and make another move there. Goes and gets one. He goes to looking to take another one there. Talk about Kaseo almost getting slingshot as well. Absolute belt of a move there from the number 19 car of Rupesh Manandi. But further back in the field, though, hard charger, not surprisingly, your Almeida Academy coach. He's up 4 positions so far in the number 15.
Yeah, we're not too surprised to see Kane Halliburton doing what Kane Halliburton does best, and that is overtakes. And there's a lot of overtaking to do when you start at the back, so Kane Halliburton kind of mired in that mix right now, looking to advance. He's in 26th, started 30th. Overall, though, up at the front, Ian Joyner, Kyle Diaz-Castro. Then we have Timothy Ing and Jacob Sipley. So Tuco Valcaseo also there in 5th. So right now, the top 6, 7 drivers all kind of lined up. Oh, look at that, more than that, about top 15 drivers. All single file, Zippy, so your prediction was correct, just a little lap early.
Well, every single driver that I can see is within a second of the other car. This is incredibly close racing here. You see Carl Diaz-Castro trying to make a move around the outside. You see Timothy Ing lurking behind. He's going to be our camera car, and he's been potent since the very first round. But is he going to be able to find his way to the top step of the podium here? Diaz-Castro again, yet again, right up behind Joyner, and this is giving Timothy Ing a potential move here. He's got the slipstream from the number 8 ahead. Is it going to be enough, though, to slingshot him into second place?
Yeah, Kyle Diaz-Castro kind of got hung out to dry there with Ian Joyner joining up with Timothy Ing, but now they're going side-by-side action. Kyle Diaz-Castro getting back up to second place, so a little bit of bobbing and weaving. Ian Joyner trying to pick which partner he wanted to give a draft to, and looks like everything's remaining status quo as we go through turns 3.
Oh, absolutely fantastic stuff. As there's been a little bit of an incident further back, though. Manuel Hoffer is showing up as having a little bit of an incident. Everything does appear to be good, though. Let's take a quick look at the replay. Well, everything looks good. Everything looks good. And a little bit of a tank slapper, but no, fair play. They got away with it. Oh, there it is.
Oh.
Great save, though. Fantastic save there by Manuel Hoffer.
Yeah, that is for sure. I mean, that's the best case of a worst case scenario. There we go. Yeah, that's the action we want to see, folks. Ian Joyner, Kyle Diaz-Castro, side-by-side action going down the long straightaway here. Crossing the start-finish line, we got Kyle Diaz-Castro just, now we're 3 wide, Zippy. We got Timothy Ing, Ian Joyner, Kyle Diaz-Castro. You can't go 3 wide through here, can you? Oh, we're going to try. Oh, up on the curves, but Kyle Diaz-Castro up to the point. Ian Joyner second, Timothy Ing back to third. So these guys are battling it hard, and we're less than 4 minutes into this race. 15-minute sprint format here. Cars couldn't be any closer, though.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff. And I do love the fact that they are actually battling and not working together to try and pull away. Literally the whole field, except for 2 or 3 cars at this point, as Kane Halliburton has retired from this race, as is Manuel Hoffer, the meatball flag. Kevin Kassim picked up a meatball flag as well. I'll take a look at that in a few short moments. But I do love the fact that this field is absolutely duking it out. Let's take a quick look here at the replays and find out exactly what happened.
Take a look at Kane Halliburton. So far, everything is looking relatively good, but this would explain why we lost Kane Halliburton. Was that Manuel Hoffer as well? Yeah, Manuel Hoffer having that incident. Kane Halliburton getting into the back of the car ahead.
Yeah, definitely a little bit unfortunate there for the Almeida Academy head coach, and certainly Manuel Hoffer as well. But that does mean some good news here for a couple of the other stones. So something's happened to Kevin Adrian as well. He's off the course.
Yeah, I think he may have slipped on a shirt that may have been left on the track there, Zippy. Take a look at the replay. So he's coming up the inside here, up on the curbing, and the back wheel just touched the front right wheel, and that was enough to send that car up into the air.
Yeah, a little bit of friendly fire there between Rich Meesters and Kevin Adrian, but what you can see right now, though, incredibly close battling. Kyle Diaz-Castro has forced his way to the front of the pack, but certainly you can see side by side they go. Timothy Ing is going to be there lurking behind him. He's trying to get up and ahead, but realistically, Ian Joyner leaving him nowhere to go. The gap being very firmly closed. Look at it getting ever smaller. They're going to go 3 wide here into turn 1.
Yeah, 3 wide into turn 1 on lap 6. I think they've done this 4 out of the 6 laps thus far, Zippy. This is great race action as we take a look on board with Jacob Sibley. He's got the catbird seat. He's watching all this duking out, just looking for his opportunity. So he's right in the mix as well. You know what? So is a whole bunch of other drivers. We've got about 15 drivers there, all within a second of each other. And great race action up at the front. We've got Joyner. We got Kyle Diaz-Castro. We're going a little further back, looking at Kevin Lowe. He's looking at it all. He's getting right up there. So, very, very deep he was. And he's up the inside here on Timothy Ing. He's got by him now, but for how long? Next on the list for him is Jacob Sibley, who's moved up to 3rd.
Well, you see there Rupesh Benani as well starting to apply the pressure. Certainly Kevin Lau, no stranger to the front of the podium, and indeed he's giving it a good run for his money. We've got somebody out of formation there. I believe that's Tuka Valcasay, one of the Finnish drivers there. I do have to wonder if his fellow countryman back in the club class can give him a little bit of help. Ilari Arneo, he's going in P3. Actually, speaking of the club class, we've got a three-way fight here. Matthew Johnson leading the charge with Anthony Ori just behind, and indeed Ilari Arneo on that 3rd step. As meanwhile, back at the front of the grid, Carl Diaz-Castro may have lost the lead, but for how long? These two drivers are absolutely duking it out as Seapley now going toe-to-toe with Kevin Lau.
Yeah, I don't think, honestly, as long as you're up in that close pack going into the last couple of laps, you've got a shot at that, because as we've seen, anywhere from Timothy Ing, who's now down in 6th, to Kyle Diaz-Castro, who's now in 1st. Now it's Ian Joyner in 1st. I mean, it's just bouncing back and forth every single corner. And it's anybody's race at this. I think people are just trying to feel each other out, looking for when is the best opportunity to stay up with the lead pack. Let's take a look at Rupesh Benani. He's getting off onto the curbing a little bit, but good solid exit, and he's going to get a good draft as they're going 2 by 2 up ahead of him. He's just got to pick a partner, and unfortunately he's kind of boxed in with nowhere to go here.
Well, certainly this is where I wish we had Sammy Hendricks back in here this season, because that man will literally bump draft anything. I've never seen a car he won't bump draft. You see there, look at the closing speeds. And here we go. Here's the move that Paneni's been looking for. Kevin Lau runs a little bit wide there. Paneni carries a good bit of momentum, but it's not able to get ahead. Seapley now on the defensive in the draft, and Rupesh Paneni, realistically, he's got pace, but he's got no way to get ahead while the slipstream is in play. Meanwhile, though, further back, it looks like Brian Lenz and Philip Falcon are starting to get into a little bit of a battle as well.
Yeah, we've certainly got battles all the way up and down the field. Phil Falcon, 14th place overall. And right now, he's got Brian Lindsay behind him, Bas Vanderlee up ahead. So take a look on board and from the back of Bas's car. And, you know, this circuit's providing some exciting racing here, Zippy, this shortened Navarro. I'm really impressed with the level of competition we're getting to see out of this short course. Perfectly designed for these cars.
Well, Richard, what can I say other than welcome to the Almeida Racing League? Certainly without a doubt. And that move right there That is something they teach in the academy. Keep your opponent pinned as long as possible, and then at the very last moment, go out and extend and try and get the perfect racing line, and it hasn't really worked here. Ian Joyner was boxed in, but Carl Diaz-Castro, as I say that, he's managed to put himself back on the top step, but for how long? Kevin Laudo lurking right there behind, as it's now going to be a freeway fight for the lead, looking to try and get a car, get a wheel up alongside the fuselage here of one of these 1600s.
Well, yeah, that's, I think every corner we never know who's going to be where and who's going to come out of the victor. Right now, this corner, Ian Joyner, Kyle Diaz-Castro managing to hold off Kevin Lau. Jacob Siebele tucked up right in behind. Rubesh Paneni, Kevin Eng, Jeremy Childers. I mean, the list just goes on. They're all there. Big. Oh, Kevin, his got a little bit of a. Oh, that's unfortunate for Kevin. He was having a strong race. We'll take a look at a replay and see if we can see what happened here.
Well, you see Siepli there, he's on the attack, gets a little bit of a wiggle, then a little bit of a nudge there from Rupesh Paneni, contacts Kevin Lau there, and realistically caused the incident, and then Siepli there on the rejoin and making more contacts. So certainly a little bit of a cluster, you could say, at that particular moment. Kevin Lau, though, has now been forced all the way back into P18. Absolutely catastrophic fall through the order. What does this mean at the front of the pack? Well, Rupesh Paneni, he's got his wish. He's a little bit further back. He's about 9 tenths of a second behind Carl Diaz-Castro and Ian Joyner, but realistically, the mid-pack is where it's happening right now. Jonathan Hobson leading the charge, feeling about himself, and realistically 6, 7, you could have 10 other cars.
Well, yeah, you could certainly have 10 other cars. I mean, we started off with a 30-car field, and I mean, there's good close battling all the way down. You know, we can go all the way down to 25th place, 24th place. They're still battling really closely. So take a look at the beautiful livery, or interesting livery of Jonathan Hobson. But we're going to go back up to the front. Lots of race action. Now we got Kyle Diaz-Castro getting ahead of Ian Joyner. And getting right in there is Rupesh Paneni. So Rupesh Paneni on the outside, looking ahead at Ian Joyner, who's now ahead of Kyle Diaz-Castro. But that could change in a matter of meters, folks. These drivers making changes for position like every other corner, it seems. Ian Joyner right now holding up Kyle Diaz-Castro. Rupesh Paneni loving the side-by-side action up ahead of him, letting him getting tucked up relatively closely with Jeremy Childers behind him.
Yeah, certainly Childers has been very much in form this season. The 1600 has really worked well for him. He's a die-hard IndyCar fan, but certainly how many people can drive an IndyCar at absolute pace? As we see another battle here for the lead, but further back though, Jacob Siepli is now going toe-to-toe with Tuka Valcaseo, or Valcasuo, depends on how you want to pronounce it, but certainly the Finnish driver doing quite well. He's down one position overall, but keep an eye a little bit further back, as that's Anthony Ori. He's currently there in the club class podium, leading the charge, up 3 positions, but let's take a look here at the hard charger, and actually, it's a fellow Canadian. It's Rich Meesters. As something's happened with Bas van der Lee, he's gone around.
Bas van der Lee, unfortunate for him. Let's take a look on board, and just looked like a little bit tire touch, and late on the brakes, and looks like car just got off balance. I didn't see any contact there.
I have a feeling he got a shunt from the back. Keep an eye.
We'll take a look again here from a different camera angle. This will show us a little bit more. Oh, just a little bit of a nose to the right rear, and that'll do it, folks.
Yeah, certainly when you're on the limit of grip like that, it only takes a little bit of persuasion. Meanwhile, though, Zoltan Zomotor is going to go toe-to-toe with another old gentleman. Sorry, fellas. It's Rich Meesters.
You know, Zippy, that's called experience.
Yeah.
Experience is what matters. You know, I'll just say, you know, there are certain race car drivers who are having great seasons well into their 40s, not like these young kids in their 20s, 15, you know, their teens, their 20s, their 30s. And look at these two gentlemen racing. We got Zoltan Zomotor, Rich Meesters. We've got 2 cameras. Zippy is pushing all the buttons and making all the magic happen. Here's Zoltan Zomotor. Rich Meesters battling down the start-finish line right now. Is Zoltan Zomotor going for the lead for Rich Meesters? They're battling for 14th position overall. And great race action in the mid-pack.
Yeah, I think that may have been a tactical off-track there from Zoltan Zomotor, and you can see the guns just absolutely flexing there on the drive of the 164. But certainly you're saying about older fellas having good seasons. Let's ask Fernando Alonso the same question. Certainly I've not seen that car do anything noteworthy as of yet.
Well,
but
you can't blame the
It's not
you
the
can't
car.
blame the driver when
it's not
the motor in the car crap.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Whoa, no.
Oh dear. That's
Jonathan
Hobson.
Hobson around. Yeah. We'll take a look at a replay, see what happened with him. Jonathan Hobson coming down this. Yeah, it looks like he's gonna big stack up there. He makes a turn in, but that's not gonna work, unfortunately. Getting tagged on the inside.
Oh. Bonus boop.
Oh, that was a little bit of a bonus.
Well, as we return to the front of the pack, Ian Joyner has been relegated into P number 3. Rupesh Panani up 6 positions right now. Not the hard charger, but certainly one in contention. Actually, Steve Saunders, another. What is it with you older fellas today? Absolutely. Cairo, behave yourself. But certainly, Connor Bell, welcome to the chat as well. Certainly, we would love to have you in the commentary booth if you get the urge. But you can see there, Rupesh Panani, he's up there. He's in a P1. He's now 7 positions clear, but for how long? Carl Diaz Castro locking up a little bit there. Panani gives him the space, and Ian Joyner looking to get ahead. Jeremy Childers now potentially challenging for a podium.
Yeah, that's great race action. Are we on our last lap here, Zippy? Is this going to be the end of it here as they come across the start-finish line? I am not sure. I believe it is, but yeah, they're going to get the checker flag coming across here. Kyle Diaz-Castro right now going to hold off. It looks like Ian Joyner and Rupesh Panani. And yeah, Kyle Diaz-Castro crossing the start-finish line. And yeah, well, that race is over. That's why. And Kyle Diaz-Castro, Ian Joyner, Rupesh Panani, top 3.
I gotta say, I was not ready for that race to finish. Like, when the racing's that good, like, why would you want it to finish? Absolutely incredible stuff. But fair play there to Carl Diaz-Castro, able to take the race win. Ian Joyner taking second. But some fantastic battles as well. I do have to wonder what we're going to see here from Kane Halliburton in this next round. Certainly, if we can say out of the mud, he's going to be in for a potentially good race. Certainly the hard charge of that one as well. Steve Saunders, fair play to that man. He was able to move up 9 spots. But Carl Diaz-Castro there taking a little bit of a victory lap here around Navarra.
You may as well. You got to celebrate, don't you, Zippy? I mean, Kyle Diaz-Castro, he had a great race. Him and Ian Joyner battling basically from the drop of the green flag. And Kyle Diaz-Castro coming out the victor in this one. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the second race.
Well, certainly. Let's take a look here at the final results of heat number 1. We got to do it quickly though. Carl Diaz-Castro takes the win with Ian Joyner in second, and Rupesh Panani takes third. Jeremy Childers takes fourth with Jacob Seekley in fifth. Tuka Valcaseo in sixth with Timothy Ing in 7th. Anthony Ori takes the club class win with Philip Falcon right there behind him. Another solid points haul for the Canadian in P number 9 overall, with Matthew Johnson taking third. That is your top 10. And actually having a look here at the grid invert, it is going to be a top 8 invert. From there on, they'll start back the same way they were. P11, we had Brian Lenz with Ilaria Arneo taking 12th. Zoltan Somator in 13th, with Rich Maces having a good battle with him in 14th. Kevin Lau takes 15th, with Charles Krasik in 16th. Dominicus Conservicius in 17th, with Andres Saboda in 18th. Kevin Adrian, the shirtless wonder himself, in 19th, with Steve Saunders rounding out your top 20.
Yeah, we had more drivers than that, though, folks. 21st, we had Lance Tamashiro. 22nd, Bas Vanderlee. 23rd, Michael Cords. 24th, Marcus Vorpal. 25th, Serena's Bruska. 26th, we had Mark Schmurder. 27th, Jonathan Hobson. Kamal Kasim is 28th. And Manuel Hoffer had his issues, 29th. And we saw what happened to Kane Halliburton early on.
Well, certainly a little bit unfortunate there for the Almeida Academy coach. But again, it's going to be an interesting thing. Starting here on the front row of the grid, Anthony Ori, he's going to get the opportunity there with Timothy Ing in second. Tuka Bakaseo in third with Jacob Seepley in fourth. Jeremy Childers to take fifth with Rupesh Panani in sixth. Ian Joyner in seventh. And Carl Diaz-Castro starting 8th in the grid. That rounds out your grid invert for this race. Absolutely phenomenal. This could be a good opportunity here for Anthony Ori. We've seen him in other series. He's quite potent. But the biggest thing here is because of that invert, he is now 8 cars clear of the second place club class driver. This could be an absolutely monumental opportunity to score some points.
Well, it certainly can be, but it's certainly an advantage to start off there. But we will see what happens when we go to live race action, because we've got 15 minutes here once again, and we'll see what happens. We're waiting for the lights to drop, folks.
And away we go here for Rouse. Race number 2. I should have just let you do it. Race number 2 here at Navarra for the Almeida Racing Academy. Already you can see them swarming around like a bunch of angry hornets. Ian Joyner looking to make a move here. Up on the inside. Gets the better here of Carl Diaz Castro, at least for now. As you see, Rupesh Benani giving a good run for his money as well. Right now, though, at the front of the pack, Anthony Ori holds on. Tuka Bakaseo in second, and then Timothy Ying in third.
Yeah, it's so much for going nose to tail. Yeah, they're going nose to tail the top 3, but they're spread out 2, 3, 4 wide, a little bit further back. But right now, Anthony Ori off to a great start with Tuka Bakaseo in behind him. A little deeper in the pack, we've got Kane Halliburton making his return. He's up 3 positions. Oh no!
Oh my gosh,
big
that
shunt
was Saunders.
there. And that was Steve Saunders off, and that car is broken, and the driver hopefully is okay. Let's take a look at the replay here. Coming around the outside, getting way off. Oh yeah, no traction out there on the dirt and the grass, and Steve Saunders' race is over.
Yeah, that is definitely not the race start that he was looking for. He's going to be back there in pit lane as the rest of the pack makes their way around to complete the first lap. But you can see here, Timothy Ing, he's currently there, still holding on to second, but keep an eye out. Ian Joyner there on the inside of a 3-wide scenario. It's going to be Jacob Seepley, and I believe that is Jeremy Childers there in the mix as well.
Yeah, a whole bunch of action going on. Timothy Ing up to point now. Tuka Bakaseo in second. Anthony Ori shuffled down to fourth. But I think we're going to see a lot of shuffling going on, Zippy. We're only on lap 2 here. We've got a bunch more racing to go as they're going side-by-side action. Rupesh Benani and Timothy Ing all following along behind Tuka Bakaseo.
Oh
and
my.
so far, so good. Oh, look at this. Do we want to see 3 wide? Oh, a big bump there. And that was Kyle Diaz Castro, was it? Getting it on. Yeah, and a little bit of an issue there, but getting it back on track. Losing a few positions, hopefully not too much damage.
Yeah, you see him, he just, for lack of better words, popped the wheel. Let's take a look here at the onboard, going in incredibly hard. Gets a little bit of brake lock up and mounts that wheel. Fair play to him, able to keep the car rolling.
Yeah, that almost looked like some Discovery Channel action there, Zippy. And we're going back up to the front there. We got Tuka Bakaseo holding up Rupesh Benani. Timothy Ing is sticking the nose right in there as well. A little further back, not much further back though, is Jeremy Childers and Ian Joyner. Ian Joyner up 2 positions. Rupesh Benani up 4 positions into second. So lots of gains going on. You know who's really moving up is Kane Halliburton. So far so good for him. He's in 21st. He's started 30th. A little spin back there. Was that Lance Tamashiro? I'm not sure, but Kane Halliburton kind of on a heater right now.
Yeah, let's take a look to find out exactly what happened to Tamashiro. You can see there going side by side, and fair play to him. Everything's looking good. Everything's looking good, and we keep seeing this a little bit, actually, seeing cars come together. And that one there, though, that's a solo error. Just gets a little bit of over rotation on corner exit. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, car a little off balance. Oh, Zippy says, oh dear, and oh dear is oh dear. We'll see what happened or see why, but let's take a look at a replay at Sarunas Brusca. So far, going down the straightaway here, hard into the braking zone. Tucks it up. Oh, and the back end just comes around ahead of him, and poor Sarunas, and nowhere to go.
Yeah, we are seeing a little bit of a constant battle there between the track and the driver. Certainly that corner offering a little bit more rotation than a few may be expecting. But right now, the fastest lap of the session has been set by the driver of the number 8 car. And suddenly got Cairo Ends here in the chat just going, how did Steve Saunders go so far off? I had a feeling he bottomed out the car on that curving. But let's take a look here at the track conditions. Indeed, it's a little bit warm, but not excessively. 24 degrees Celsius for the track temp.
Yeah, it's... I mean, that's just a warm day. That's not a hot track temp. Oh no, Jacob Seepley's car is off, and that's unfortunate. He's been right in the mix all, both the first 2 races, and woo, we just get some tires off on the grass there. Is that what? Oh no, yeah, he got some tires off on the grass, but only after got a little bit of a touch there as he pulled off to the left, and car just braking a little later, and he was take a look on board here with the perspective of Brian Lentz.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out which car it was. That was actually Matthew Johnson that gave him a little bit of helping nudge there. As what a tank slapper there from Diaz Castro, able to keep hold of it. Indeed, he's milking that thing so hard, he's going to have not just cheese, he's going to have a cheesecake if he isn't careful. But meanwhile, though, at the front of the pack, we've seen him there before. Are we going to see him there again? The driver of the number 19, the Indian fellow himself, Mr. Rupesh Paneni, is currently leading the charge. Tulka Valcaseo currently, realistically, offering a little bit of defense there. The likes of Timothy Yang and Jeremy Childers, with Ian Joyner lurking at the back of this pack.
Yeah, you got a five-car pack, and any one of these drivers can come ahead and get to point after a corner or two. Oh, getting real close. Up almost inside was Ian Joyner, but wow, what great race action as we're going down the pit straight, the start-finish line coming across now. Cars snaking down. We take a look at them. Everybody trying to stay in draft except for a couple further back. But wow. First place, Rupesh Paneni right now on the outside. Timothy Yang going around the outside. But Tuka Valcaseo lurking in the background, as is Ian Joyner's up 3 positions. So, whoa, that's real close action. Rupesh Paneni go up 5 positions, holding on to the lead for now, Zippy, lap 6.
Yeah, absolutely incredible battling. Look how close the field is as well. All the way, Jeremy Childers. That is a 5-car battle for the lead. A little bit further back, Anthony Ori, not quite there with the draft. He's about 1.1, 1.2 seconds back, but he's got Carl Diaz Castro there alongside. Certainly, if Diaz Castro can get ahead, he may help pull the rest of these cars further forward. I say that Zoltan Zomator now having a little bit of a battle there with Kevin Lau. Cuts across, and Philip Falcon there has to sacrifice a little bit of pace. Charles Krasick moves forward.
Yeah, it's, wow, great race action. I mean, this second race is just as exciting as the first race. And the first race was a no snooze fest, Zippy. Take a look at Charles Krasick. All these drivers, nose to tail, coming across the start-finish line to start a lap number 7 for them. Up at the front, though, Timothy Yang having this good battle with Rupesh Paneni. One's going to come out the victor exiting this corner, but there's going to be many more corners to go. Rupesh Paneni, Timothy Yang battling on.
Certainly, while Navarra may not be on the Princess Approved track list, it certainly is delivering some absolutely fantastic track action here. As what has happened further back, you see Anthony Ori has managed to close the gap to Jeremy Childers there to 8 tenths per second. These guys are in a slipstream, and they are catching up. Matthew Johnson leading the next pack behind. As I say that, Kevin Lau looking to give him a run for his money and moves to the front of that pack.
Yeah, Kevin Lau having his issues in race 1. You know, I was going to comment that all the times I do Almeida Racing League, Kevin Lau seems to have a good day, and I was just about to say that when he had his issues last race, but right now, not having issues this race. As we take a look at Kyle Diaz Castro, he's that's very close, folks, and him and Anthony Ori getting that great issue, but he's only 2 positions now ahead of Matthew Johnson.
Yeah, certainly Matthew Johnson is going to be looking to try and catch up and indeed challenge there for the club class points. Zoltan Zomator running really deep there up on Brian Lenz, who's currently now getting in a battle with Charles Krasick. Certainly Lenz maybe a little bit early in the braking zone, but meanwhile, absolutely fantastic battles. Dominicus Conservicius now has Rich Meesters to deal with. He's trying to make his way by on the outside.
Yeah, Dominicus Conservicius having himself a good up 1 position. Rich Meesters down 1. Up ahead of him. Zippy, every single corner, you're just wondering who's going to come out the top of the... Oh, look at this. Look at this great pack. What do we got, 15 cars in this pack, Zippy? I mean, they're really not separated by that much.
They really aren't, and somehow, by some miracle, and indeed a lot of talent, Ian Joyner has managed to find himself up 5 positions on the day. He's currently up there as they are absolutely flooding towards that inside line. It really is like a little bit of a snake here, but let's keep an eye a little bit further back as well. Kane Halliburton currently up 14 positions so far.
He's up 14 positions, but that last first challenge, real difficult to do in a 15-minute race, Zippy, especially with the talent level that these drivers are displaying. Take a look at Ian Joyner, Rupesh Paneni. They've been battling for quite some time now, and quite a lot over the season, so... Right now, it's Rupesh Paneni in first, but you know what? In 5 seconds, it's going to be Ian Joyner in first, and now it's going to go back to Rupesh. This is just the way the race action's been all day long thus far. We still got one more after this, Zippy. I don't know if my heart can take it. I'm going to have to go maybe for a little checkup after this weekend.
Well, certainly you're gonna. Oh my word!
Oh.
Brian Lenz there getting caught up in a little bit of action. He's going to look to rejoin the track. Thankfully, the drivers have left him a little bit of real estate to do so, but absolutely catastrophic there. Let's take a look at the replay. Oh, he had help.
Oh, a little bit of a nose cone into the back left wheel there, and that'll do it.
Yeah, it looks like I got an incident here between Michael Cords and Jonathan Hobson as well. Here comes Cords. That's Hobson up ahead. And just locks up, gets a bit of a tank slapper going, and yeah, ends up catching the driver ahead.
Yeah, oh, well, that is unfortunate. When we take a look at Brent. Up at the front, let's go back to the front where this race action has been action-packed all race long. We're looking from the back of Rupesh Paneni, Ian Joyner, Timothy Ang back there. Then we got Jeremy Childers, Tuca Valcaseo. Oh my goodness, we've got Ian Joyner going up the outside. We're going 3 wide in the second row. This is ill-advised, but you know what, Zippy? They pulled it off.
It may be ill-advised as a driver, but it's great entertainment for us here as we go on board with Kevin Lau. And certainly this man is somebody who we see is usually cool, calm, and collected. And I have a feeling on this occasion, he is maybe sweating a little bit there. That's almost contact there with the back wheel of Anthony Ori.
Yeah, Kevin Lau, always looking cool, calm, and collected. I think the only time I saw him really exhibit some excitement was the one race victory I got to call several weeks back. But Kevin Lau had himself a good race. Up 7 positions, Zippy. He started 15th because of his earlier issues.
Oh, that's Childers.
Up 8 positions, up 9 positions now. Oh, Childers around. So Kevin Lau started 15th. He's up to 6. Unfortunate spin there for Jeremy Childers. Let's try and get a replay and see what exactly or how that all happened.
Yeah, certainly fair play, some good sportsmanship there as he goes side by side. Let's have a look here. He's there on the outside. Everyone's looking good. Everyone's looking good. And just error. Ran out of grip.
Yeah, just a car a little off balance, ran out of grip, and tried to make that turn in, and the tire said no. Anyways, Kane Halliburton sitting in. Did you see? Is that right, Zippy? Is at 10th place now? He started 30th. We're only 12 minutes into this race, so Kane at top 10 pace right now, or not top 10 pace. He's got number 1 pace, but he's in 10th place. Let's see how far up the field he can get with just 2.5 minutes remaining.
Well, it's not hard to see why he is an Almeida Academy coach. Certainly going on board here. He's got a little bit of work to do. Matthew Johnson about 6 tenths of a second ahead. When I started that sentence anyway, it's now down to 3 tenths of a second. Kane Halliburton really able to carry as much momentum as he possibly can there in that number 29 car. And certainly got to say, fair play to him. An absolutely fantastic headshot as well. But right now, the battle is starting to spice up yet again at the front of the pack. Rupesh Paneni having to fold off a former champion. It's Ian Joyner.
Yeah, Rupesh Paneni, Ian Joyner up to point. Rupesh Paneni now will have the inside going into the next corner. This is anybody's race. I think any of the top 3 or 4 drivers have an opportunity to win this. And we're taking a look here at the great close battling between Joyner. Oh, Valcaseo. Yeah, that is sending him all the way back. Rupesh Paneni, well, go off track, going backwards. We got Ian Joyner, Tuca Valcaseo up to the top. Kyle Diaz-Castro in 3rd somehow. So, wow, we're coming around. I believe this is going to be, no, we're going to have, this is the penultimate lap. We're going to have 2 more laps. This is the second last lap. Ian Joyner, Tuca Valcaseo, Kyle Diaz-Castro, Timothy Ang, Kevin Lau's right in there as well. So, unfortunate for Rupesh Paneni, falling way back.
I see Charles Krasik has had a little bit of an issue as well, but meanwhile, a new fastest lap has been set, and it's by the number 29. He's up 23 positions. That is absolutely diabolical here from the Almeida Academy coach, and certainly fair play to him, but he's about 1.8, 1.9 seconds back from the likes of Anthony Ori, who's currentently at the tail end of this lead pack.
Yeah, wow. This lead pack is something else, but we're going to take a look at Anthony Ori following along behind Kevin Lau, and right now these guys nose to tail coming around to complete lap 13. We're going to start lap 14, and the final lap, white flag is out, so Ian Joyner taking the white flag, Tuca Valcaseo, Kyle Diaz-Castro, Timothy Ang, Kevin Lau. So far nobody close enough to make any moves, but we've seen that change from corner to corner. Ian Joyner doing a great job, up 6 positions from the start.
Oh, like Tim Fieng and Kyle Diaz-Castro, we're getting incredibly close there. Kevin Lau, he's up 10 positions as well. An absolutely commanding drive there from the driver of the number 88. But is it going to be enough? Certainly, there's going to be no invert grid for the final race of the day. They're going to start where they finish. And Kane Halliburton there, up 23 positions. What can he do if he starts from 7th in the main feature race? But look at that. Tuca Valcaseo there, up on the inside of Carl Diaz-Castro. Now, Diaz-Castro able to win race 1. Can he do it here again? Ian Joyner being the only man who could potentially stand in his way.
Yeah, well, right now, Ian Joyner looking very, very solid. I mean, it's not that big a gap, but 0.4 of a second is about as big a gap he's had all race long, and that is going to be enough, I think, Zippy. Ian Joyner coming across, take victory over Kyle Diaz-Castro, Tuca Valcaseo, Timothy Ang, Kevin Lau, Anthony Ori, Kane Halliburton, up to 7th.
Yeah, absolutely incredible drive there by the Almeida Academy coach. Meanwhile, though, let's give Anthony Ori a bit of love there. He was able to hold on to P6 overall and takes first in the club class, with Matthew Johnson taking 2nd, and indeed Rich Mises getting a good points haul there in 3rd for the club class. But what an absolutely astonishingly fantastic race there. More action going on further back. Andre Saboda, Mark Schmidt having a little bit of a battle there towards the end. Incredible racing here. I gotta say, it's not on the Princess Approved track list, but the racing here has been nothing short of phenomenal.
Well, yeah, we don't often go to the short circuits of various racetracks, but it certainly put on a good show, and it's well suited for these cars.
Well, indeed, it's well suited here for the likes of Kyle Diaz-Castro as well. But Ian Joyner takes the win with Kyle Diaz-Castro in 2nd, Tuca Valcaseo in 3rd. Tim Fieng takes 4th with Kevin Lau in 5th. Anthony Ori, the club class win there for heat number 2 in 6th, with Kane Halliburton making his way up 23 positions. Wow, fantastic bit of zippy math, and indeed even better driving there by the Almeida Academy coach. With Zoltan Zomatoro in 8th, Matthew Johnson in 9th, and then Rich Mises rounding out the top 10 and the club class podium.
Yeah, Philip Falcon. Philip Falcon from Club Class was 11th. Ilari Arnio is 12th. Dominguez Conservatius is in 13th. Jacob Steepley 14th. Rupesh Paneni, we saw what happened to him, 15th. Bas Vanderlee 16th. Kevin Adrian is 17th. Then we had Charles Krasik 18th. Jeremy Childers 19th. Brian Lenz runs out your top 20.
Let's have a look there. In P21 was Kemal Kassim with Jonathan Hobson in 22nd. Sarunas Bruska takes 23rd with Andres Saboda, and Mark Schmidt having that great battle at the end in 24th and 25th. Marcus Vorpal, he takes 26th with Michael Cords, the American driver himself, in 27th. Lance Tamashiro takes 28th with Manuel Hoffer in 29th, and then Steve Saunders had a little bit of a detour there on lap 1, takes P number 30. But before we get too excited, let's take a quick break and have a message here from Swallow himself.
Now he's here teaching all his secrets to all these drivers. This is Almeida Racing Academy,
where every champion has a starting line.
The sim racer turned real world superstar, Swallow Almeida.
It's Connor Bell racing in his own backyard for the very first time in the NASCAR Canada Series.
The workshops helped out so much. Something about battling with somebody faster than you, it just pushes you that little bit further, and I was able to just keep developing my skill.
I can kind of commit more with the exit there. That was good. If you do take sim racing seriously, it does impact your racing technique for the rest of your life.
I know how the car is going to perform around these corners because of the model I have in the sim. Just the benefit of sim racing when you go into real life, I don't think people quite realize it yet.
You have infinite track time is the biggest factor. You are able to try so many things, and the physics that are simulated in the sim nowadays, especially iRacing, are so close to real life.
Creating champions.
Swallow Almeida is a master at his craft. He's outclassed a Le Mans driver, a European Le Mans Series racer.
These guys are among the top 0.02% in the world.
Designed to create champions.
First NASCAR Canada start. First NASCAR victory for Connor Bell.
Connor Bell standing on the podium here today.
This is the Almeida Racing Academy 3.0.
Wait a race, buddy. Wait a race.
Well, welcome back, everybody. Certainly an absolute pleasure to have the support of the Almeida Racing Academy here on Pit Road Production. I gotta say, if you haven't watched the story there of how, Swallow Almeida became Swallow Almeida, indeed, obviously we know physically how he got here, ladies and gentlemen. We're not here to teach you that, but certainly how he started not just the Academy, his racing career.
Right.
It's an absolutely phenomenal story, a phenomenal adventure. Certainly myself, actually would love to meet the commentator who was covering those Radical Championship North America races as well. And indeed, I'd love to actually go to North America and try and cover them a little bit with him as well. That would be incredible. But I am lucky enough to be able to commentate the Canadian series. Certainly, FEL Motorsports has had me in the booth, and I'm looking forward to be back at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park on Labor Day weekend. But Richard, I gotta say, some fantastic racing we've seen here at Navarra, but I do have to wonder, what are we going to see from Kane Halliburton? Is he going to start in P7 as he duly finished, or are we going to see him go back to the rear of the field?
Kane's starting a P30 as Zippy. We know it. At least I think he's going to start 30th.
Well, certainly a lot on the table here, and a lot of points on the table as well. Certainly Philip Falcon, your club class championship leader, he's had a good haul, and indeed his strongest season so far. Jeremy Childers is having a good run as well. Definitely the best form we've seen in him as of late. And certainly Jonathan Hobson, he's somebody to keep an eye out as well. His first season here in the Almeida Racing Academy. Myself, though, I got to get back in the sim more. I got to start driving more. Just it's been a very, very busy summer between pit road, between the real life commentary, between that. I actually started go-karting. I forgot to tell everybody, I actually qualified P2 in class at the at my last event. Didn't manage to finish on the oh, thanks, man. Yeah,
Congratulations. Were there three cars or two cars?
2 cars. Six cars in the Masters. Some of these guys have been karting for over 40 years, so fair play.
Oh, awesome, Zippy.
Yeah,
awesome.
I'm pretty proud of that. Didn't manage to hold on to a podium. Almost had a feature race podium, and a little controversial. It could have been a bumper penalty for the guy who passed me, and he wasn't given one. So I'm a little bit mixed feelings about that. But certainly, if I'm going to do a podium, my first feature podium, I want to do it purely on racecraft, not on rules. But let's get ready here for the final grid of the day. And by the looks of it, Halliburton, we're going to have to see he's not taken to the grid yet. But Ian Joyner is going to start us off with Carl Diaz-Castro in second, Tuca Bakaseo in third, Timothy Ying in fourth, Kevin Lau in fifth, Anthony Ori in sixth, Kane Halliburton potentially, he is taking seventh with Zoltan Summerton in eighth, Matthew Johnson in ninth, and then Rich Meesters rounding out your top 10. Realistically, they are starting the same place as when they left. I have a feeling we're only going to get a minute here for this grid, so we're going to get ready pretty quickly and get ready to roll. Certainly, I have a feeling Halliburton may find himself on the podium here, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, I think it's all going to come down, Zippy, into who has contact and who doesn't. It's going to be incredibly close. We've just got 5 seconds or so before the lights go up. Ian Joyner starting on pole. We'll see what happens.
Well, definitely a good call there. Ian Joyner at the front of the pack. Halliburton, you can see him there lurking in the distance. He is going to be on the outside lane. And away we go as we start the main feature race here for the Almeida Racing League at Navarra. And already you can see Tuca Bakaseo pulling over a little bit there, trying to cover the line from Timothy Ying.
Yeah, taking a look at that. But drivers seem to be getting a little lined up a little bit quicker in...
Woof.
You know, a little less chaos than the first couple of races. We're going 3-4 wide into corner one. I say that, but definitely some great ratings action. Taking a look at Kane Halliburton diving up the inside. Kane Halliburton already made up 3 positions, Zippy. He's being super aggressive.
I don't know if aggressive is the right word. I'd say assertive, maybe a little bit more accurate there for the likes of Halliburton. Aggression, he doesn't seem like an aggressive man. Strong man, talented man, but aggressive, I don't know about that one. But right now, though, fair play to him. And you can see Kevin Lau and Timothy Ying going side by side here as they make their way down towards the left-hander.
Yeah, Ian Joyner continue to hold off Kyle Diaz-Castro, Tuca Bakaseo, but Kane Halliburton sticking his nose in the mix. Timothy Ying, Kevin Lau, Anthony Ori, Zoltan Zomatar. My goodness, all drivers, lots of race action on lap 1 as we complete it. Ian Joyner in the lead. We're going 2 wide, a little further back. Tucking to the inside is Joyner. Going to the outside is Diaz-Castro. Up the middle, Tuca Bakaseo. But right now, Ian Joyner holding off Kyle Diaz-Castro.
But for how long? I do have to wonder what the likes of Kane Halliburton can do. Certainly he has dueled with the likes of Ian Joyner before. Some good rivalry there. But further back in the field, though, Anthony Ori. He's currently leading the club class. Fair play to him. But this time, he's not going to have the same kind of luxury. Zoltan Zomator is indeed plugging that gap as off he goes. That's Timothy Ying.
Oh, Timothy Ying's had a strong day. But unfortunately, race 3... is not going to be his, and Timothy Yang having his issues early on. We'll take a look at a replay. Whoa, and I'm guessing something got into the back of him there, because that did not look like a normal... Whoa, oh, there was about 6 feet of netco, 2 meters there, folks, and Timothy Yang getting bounced.
Yeah, that's definitely not what he had in mind. Something's happened with Mark Schmurder as well. See, he's picked up a meatball flag, as has Dominicus Consavicius as well. Let's take a look here at that car. No, he's fine. It's Sarunas Bruska. My apologies, Sarunas Bruska with the meatball flag. Left is good, right is good. That car don't look bad. iRacing stewards disagree.
Yeah, wheels are turning, so it can't be that bad. We're up at the front, though, Zippy. You just want to make note. Kane Halliburton right up in the mix. He's in third now, looking for first. Ian Joyner, Kyle Diaz-Castro, Kane Halliburton up the inside. Kane Halliburton taking second. Now he's going to get a 2-for-1 here. Ian Joyner on the inside. We've got Kane Halliburton on the outside. Oh, I thought we were going 3 wide in behind, but no, we're not. Halliburton around the outside. Joyner on the inside. That's going to put Halliburton on the inside for the next corner. Could this be it? Is he going to go up to point? It looks like he is, but Joyner not giving it up without a fight. But right now, Kane Halliburton, the coach, is showing the students how it's done.
Yeah, certainly he is indeed a man to be reckoned with. We've seen some high ratings here on Pit Road Productions, but certainly this man is one of the top ones. He's 8,460 rating. As I say that, Anthony Ori, club class leader, posts the fastest lap of 105.14.
Hey, you don't have to have the highest rating to have the fastest lap, Zippy. Kane Halliburton battling with Ian Joyner. Ian Joyner up to point now. Kane Halliburton in behind. Tuca Valcaseo, Kyle Diaz-Castro. Look at they couldn't be any closer. Great camera. Great camera angle from our producer man, Mr. Daniel Zippy Salmon. Kane Halliburton up to point. Ian Joyner. Now, Ian Joyner, Kane Halliburton, Kevin Lau's up there. This is going to be interesting as they come into this sharp corner. Oh, wisely backing it out of it was Kevin Lau, tucking it in behind. So 2 by 2, and there we go. Kevin Lau. Oh, great action. Kevin Lau getting a great corner entry there, and he's going to go side by side right now with Tuca Valcaseo.
Yeah, certainly fair play to Tuca. He is keeping Kevin Lau very much on the honest side, but is it going to be enough? You see here just how important the slipstream is. Zoltan Zomator up in the mix as well. Fair play to him. He is up there as well. As realistically, we've seen the lead pack start to cause a bit of a breakaway here. Rupesh Mani about 3 seconds back.
Yeah, and it's really hard to make up any time if you're not in that lead draft pack. Whoa, who's off there? That is at Tuca Valcaseo off, and that's not good.
Take a look here at the replay. You can see there Valcaseo up on the inside. That's Kevin Lau. Runs a little bit deep, and then, solo error. Fair play, though. Matthew Johnson doing a great job of avoiding there. And good evasion there from Valcaseo as well to get clear of the racing line.
Yeah, that's what you want to see is the drivers doing what they're doing. Anthony Ori, club class leader right now. Matthew Johnson, 7th place overall, so he's second. Those two drivers having good days, Zippy. Well up in the pack and doing well. So take a look here at Jonathan Hobson. Had some issues earlier on today, but right now Jonathan Hobson up 7, he's up 10 positions on the day. So great battle action with Charles Krasik and Tuca Valcaseo trying to make a recovery mission, and great battling. Dak in the midfield, 3 wide going in corner 1. Whoa!
Yeah. I have a feeling this may not end as well as they would like. Certainly fair play to him. You see a little bit wide there by Charles Krasik, able to keep the car rolling there. And a few of these drivers, I have a feeling, are very much using that bit of section there of the track as a tactical off track. Certainly, yes, you will get a 1x for using it, but certainly I think a few of them deciding it could be a little bit faster at times, especially when it comes to outright track position.
Well, certainly. I mean, you've got they give you so many off tracks to use. Charles Krasik, the back end coming around there. If you don't use him, you don't get him back for the next race. So Charles Krasik waiting to try and get back on, and he's going to let the entire field go by, being very generous with his rejoin. Ian Joyner, though, continuing to hold off Kane Halliburton. I didn't think Ian Joyner was going to be able to do that necessarily, but he's certainly demonstrated that he's no slouch, and he's not going to roll over for Kane Halliburton. Right in behind them is Kyle Diaz-Castro. So right now, Halliburton up to first. Joyner second, but now it's Joyner first. Now it's Halliburton first. It's just a matter of meters who's going to be the leader. And right now, Kyle Diaz-Castro just chomping at the bit because he's right in the mix.
Yeah, certainly Diaz-Castro looking to try and find his way further ahead. Realistically, he could probably put his nose into the muffler there of Kane Halliburton at that particular moment. And certainly, there you go, gets in behind Ian Joyner, gets the slipstream, but there's nowhere for him to go. Kevin Lau having the same kind of scenario. He's got pace, but realistically, there just isn't the passing opportunities here at Navarra.
No, I mean, there are passing opportunities, but what you may gain on one corner, you're going to give up on the next corner because the corners come fast and furiously, we'll say, Zippy, as we take a look at Rich Meesters. Rich Meesters currently holding off Dominica's Conservatius. And right now, these two battling closely for 18th place, Zippy. So great close battling all up and down the field, whether you're battling for first, whether you're battling all the way back here in 18th or 24th for that matter. So that's what we love. Great competition, a great display of sportsmanship.
Yeah, certainly we do like to feature more than just the lead battle here on Pit Road Productions. Certainly it's everybody there. There's a little bit of a tank slapper there from Brian Lenz. He's able to keep hold of it. Definitely he's going to be sweating a little bit here. Actually, why are we asking? We can have a look here. Brian Lenz with the driver cam, and I don't know if he's talking to himself or hoping for a specific kind of rain dance or something like that, but able to hold on up 5 positions and currently P15 overall.
Yeah, that's a solid effort thus far. We're 8.5 minutes into this 20-minute race. We're going 5 minutes longer than we did in the first two, so give those drivers, about 5 extra laps to get some moves done and hopefully gain some more positions. Take a look at Jacob Seepley. Strong pace race one. It didn't necessarily go his way, but he's up 5 positions with Rupesh Paneni up 7 positions just up ahead of him. We'll see what happens though, as we've got more than half this race still to go.
Yeah, you see there's Zoltan Somersault in the mix as well. He's got the likes of Kevin Lau just behind. These guys are absolutely duking it out. You see there Lau in the slipstream, Matthew Johnson there as well. Rupesh Maneni though, that gap was 3 seconds before. It's come down a massive 1.2, well, it's down to 1.2 seconds, so 1.8 seconds that gap has been closed down. The lead pack fighting is realistically, their outright pace is suffering as a result, and it's fantastic news for us. We could indeed have an even bigger fight for the lead. As I say that, Halliburton has found his way to the front.
Yeah, Halliburton has been up front. He got all the way up to about half a second ahead of Ian Joyner, but half second's not a whole lot around here. Not the way these drivers have been going. Ian Joyner now has got the inside. He's going to tuck it up on the inside of Halliburton. They're going to go side by side down the start-finish line. And Kyle Diaz-Castro sticking right behind Kane Halliburton. Now he's going to go up the middle. Are we going to go 3 wide? No, we're not. Oh, yes, we are. Kyle Diaz-Castro going around the outside. Joyner on the inside. Halliburton in the middle. Going to go 3 wide through corner 1.
Yeah, certainly fair play. It's a high-risk move, but is it going to work out? Should they come together, it's going to be nothing but a bowling rink here, and indeed, I have a feeling it may be more than 10 pins going down the gutter, but right now, Halliburton able to hold on. You can say he's the kingpin, but Ian Joyner looking to take the honours.
Yeah, Ian Joyner. Oh, my goodness. I thought they were going to cross wheels there, but that is a very, very close racing. Kane Halliburton, Ian Joyner, Kyle Diaz-Castro, and you know what? Anthony Ori right in there, so well done for him. And Kane Halliburton, getting all kinds of wide, sticking Joyner back, but that's going to let Kyle Diaz-Castro go up. And Anthony Ori sitting there watching all this race action going, there's nowhere for me to go, folks. They're going to go 3 wide again through the next corner. And yeah, Zoltan Zomatar are right in there in that mix. We're coming around to complete lap 10 here, Zippy.
Well, it looks like Zoltan Zomator and indeed Kevin Lau are up here in the mix as well. Let's take a look here at the driver expression. You can see both of them tuned in, focused. They're currently back there in 5th and 6th position, but are they going to get the opportunity to move forward there? And what a dive there from Zomator. And it's fair, it did not work out. That's Ian Joyner. It's gone horribly wrong. Joyner gets taken out. Kevin Lau, none the wiser. He carries on. But what an absolute... It was a send. Let's take a look at from a different point.
That was a send. Yeah, it was a send. I don't think Zoltan was expecting that to happen. He a little late on the brakes and just didn't have the car control necessary. That unfortunate result for Ian Joyner put him well back and gives Kane Halliburton the lead. But take a look here at the, Zoltan Zamatar pulled off, but Kane Halliburton, Kyle Diaz-Castro, Kevin Lau right up there now, Anthony Ori. So great racing. Anthony Ori sitting 4th overall, Zippy. Matthew Johnson 5th overall. So club class battling up with the top level racers here.
Yeah, fair play. Just because they're club class does not necessarily mean they are slower. It's so incredibly close here at the Almeida Racing League. But what could possibly happen if Anthony Ori and Matthew Johnson fight a little bit too hard? As I say that, Tucabao Caseo has had another incident, and he's where are you? Where are you going, dude? Get back there.
He's just on a Sunday. Oh, it's just I guess it's a Saturday drive there, Zippy. You know, every now and then you just want to go cruise the sites and see what's going on. As we take a look at Tucabao Caseo. Oh, that's what happened. I don't think that was a choice. That was, that was a good save, actually. Managed to get that car straightened out relatively quickly. Take a look here. Jeremy Childers. Jeremy Childers up 10 positions, up to 9th place overall. Having that little battle here with Jeremy Childers battling with Jonathan Hobson behind, Philip Falcon up ahead.
Yeah, I have a feeling Childers was the car that Tuca got caught on, but right now, Let's take a look here at Bas van der Lee. He is, without a doubt, our favourite Dutchman this season. We got to show some love there to Leon Bent-Belsen as well. Certainly, he's always brought an absolutely fantastic audience here to the channel. But you can see here, Bas van der Lee, he's not really been on form today. He's a little bit further back than where we'd expect him to see, but certainly, there's still a lot left to go. 6.5 minutes left in this race. Are we going to see the Dutchman find his way, sailing his way to the front of the pack?
Well, that remains to be seen. I mean, this has just been incredible. Take a look at Kane Halliburton. Kane Halliburton and Kevin Lau. Wow, Kevin Lau is just making up for that first race where things didn't go his way, and now battling the coach. So Kevin Lau coming around the outside, sticking way up the outside. Wow, you don't get much closer than that, folks. Kevin Lau going up the inside. Kevin Lau up to the lead now. Actually getting the nose ahead of Kane Halliburton, but Kane Halliburton's not going to give it up that easily. Staying right back to the inside. They're going to go down the main straightaway here, cross the start-finish line to complete lap 13. We're going to start lap 14. We're 14 and a half minutes into this race. 5.5 left to go. And we've got 6-7 cars there in that lead pack.
Well, what is good news there is Rupesh Mneni has been able to catch up to the back of this pack. Certainly, Seepley is about 7 tenths of a second behind the lead pack here, but the more they keep fighting, the more realistically traffic from behind is going to be an issue. Ian Joyner, unfortunately, he's all the way back there in P number 12 so far. Zoltan Zomator has indeed retired. Steve Saunders picked up a black flag as well. He had a couple of incidents. Let's take a quick look here, find out what happened to the Englishman.
Steve Saunders kind of all by himself here, so I'm guessing it was a solo issue, Zippy, unless there was some real, onto the brakes and the back end come around, and that's going to cost some time, but no damage, unfortunately. Take a look here at what's going on here with the leaders. We've got Kane Halliburton, Kyle Diaz-Castro, Kevin Lau down to 3rd now. Anthony Ori's right there. Actually, there's a whole bunch of them right there. All this battling up front has let the top, looks like 7 drivers get right all there. It's anybody's game, folks. It's anybody's race to win. But Kane Halliburton says, hey, I'm the coach. I taught you guys. I'm going to teach you some more. I think his goal is to get this race victory. But Kevin Lau now up ahead of Kyle Diaz-Castro.
As I say that, Timothy Ing just posted the fastest lap that we've seen so far, 1:04.64. Fair play to him now. But we've seen Kane Halliburton. He is in doubt a absolute force to contend with. He makes gravity look weaker than Chuck Norris with a hangover, and indeed Chuck Norris is pretty strong. But fair play to him. Let's see what he's got for a defense here against some of the Academy's finest.
Yeah, thus far it's he's doing all right, Zippy. I mean, he got all the way up to first, or up to the first or second really quickly, and him and Ian Joyner having that battle till Joyner unfortunately succumbing to that incident. But right now, Kane Halliburton leading Kyle Diaz-Castro, Kevin Lau, Anthony Ori, Matthew Johnson, Jacob Seepley. We're on lap 16 now, folks. 16.5 minutes in, 3.5 minutes left. We've got about 3 or 4 laps left to decide who's going to win this race. Kevin Lau now up to 2nd. Diaz-Castro back to 3rd.
Well, it does look like Jeremy Childers is leading that second pack. As I say, that Philip Falcon trying to make a move here on the outside. Ian Joyner wrapped up in this pack as well. I do have to wonder, but he's got Bas van der Lee just ahead of him. Certainly Bas is no slouch behind the wheel. Not only that, Jonathan Hobson is up on the inside. Goes the Ian Joyner.
Yeah, Ian Joyner on that recovery run. And Ian Joyner, I mean, the car doesn't look any worse for wear, not based on the lap times, because his lap times he's putting down are faster than the top 5. So take a look on board with Bas van der Lee sitting in 12th place, looking up behind Ian Joyner and Jonathan Hobson up ahead. Hobson, wow, look here, Bas van der Lee up behind Bas van der Lee's Brian Lenz. So close racing, and we got both the drivers. We get to see their reactions. Well, it's a little easier to see what Bas is thinking than it is Brian, because he's hiding his eyes with those sunglasses, Zippy.
Yeah, certainly Ray Band is not going to be giving him a call, but right now we have a new race leader. Kevin Lau has managed to find his way to the front of the pack, going side by side here with Kane Halliburton.
Yeah, am I allowed to cheer on Kevin? I guess that's bad form for a commentator to cheer on one of the racers, but it's always good to see the students battling with the coaches. Maybe give him a little taste of his own medicine, but Kane Halliburton may give up that position for a corner or two, and he's so good, Zippy. He always finds a way to get that nose on the inside and get that car tucked ahead. But now we're going to go 3 wide here. Got Kevin Lowe, Kane Halliburton, and Kyle Diaz-Castro wisely backing out of it. And Kevin Lowe up the inside. That's going to put Halliburton on the inside for the next corner. Kyle Diaz-Castro sending it right onto the outside, looking for a little better advantage. Whoa, getting real close as Diaz-Castro. But thus far, Kane Halliburton is going to lead away around, coming across the start-finish line, but they're nose to tail, about to start lap 18.
Well, I've got to say, it's been a very exciting 18 laps so far, well, 17 laps so far, as we begin lap number 18. Certainly, this is one of those races where realistically, you could keep these guys going. It could be an absolute endurance to the end, as almost banging wheels again yet there is Kane Halliburton and Kevin Lau.
That's real close, back for second between Lau and Diaz-Castro, but Kevin Lau managing to hold off Diaz-Castro. We are in the penultimate lap. They're going to go one more after this one. Kane Halliburton kind of putting on a clinic here, but Kevin Lau, Diaz-Castro not giving up. Diaz-Castro looking like he's getting hungry. He's going up the inside. We got Lau on the outside.
Oh!
We got Halliburton. Big neck cove that looked like. I mean, they were 3 feet apart when Halliburton got spun. Diaz-Castro up to the lead. That's going to cost Kevin Lau a few positions, unfortunately. And we'll take a look at the replay here, Zippy.
Yeah, let's take a look here. You see Kevin Lau is right by that left rear corner, side by side, and that looked like Diaz-Castro. Oh, man, yeah. That was netcode, like delayed netcode there.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, but and I really feel bad. Well, I feel bad, of course, for Halliburton, but Kevin Lau, that's cost him a few positions because he was right up there, and we're running out of time. We're on the last lap now. We're on the last lap. We got Kyle Diaz-Castro. We got Anthony Ori. Anthony Ori up to second place. Matthew Johnson in third. And wow, that's what we want to see. But Kevin Lau not going to take this line down. He's worked his way back up to fourth. He's looking to get on the podium, maybe a little more. We'll take a look at Matthew Johnson falling on behind Anthony Ori. Kyle Diaz-Castro in the lead. We've gone up to corner 6. This is the very tight right-hander.
Too hot.
Just 2 more corners to go. Whoa, a little hot there. Kevin Lau up the inside, going all the way up to second. So Diaz-Castro, Kevin Lau. Now we got Ori and Johnson in behind. Jacob Sipley getting right up in the mix, folks. So right now, with just 1 corner to go, we've got Kyle Diaz-Castro, Kevin Lau, Anthony Ori.
Well, absolutely phenomenal battling here at the end, but is it going to be enough here for Kyle Diaz-Castro? He's going to be able to take yet another race win here in the Almeida Racing League. Kevin Lau is going to have to settle for a second, but Anthony Ori, I think that may be his first time on the outright podium. Well done to him, and takes the club class win in P3 overall. Jacob Sipley up an incredible 10 positions in 4th, with Matthew Johnson taking the 5th spot and indeed second in the class. But what an absolutely phenomenal battle here at Navarra.
Wow. That was fun, Zippy. I mean, all 3 races battling nose to tail, front to back, from the drop of the lights all the way to the checker flag. I enjoyed it tremendously.
Yeah, it definitely did not seem like a a hard race to call. That one, the action was incredible. Certainly the ones that are most challenging are the ones where everybody spreads out, and indeed then we are just literally blowing air into a microphone. But Carl Diaz-Castro takes the win with Kevin Lau in second, Anthony Ori the club class winner, and indeed takes third spot overall. Jacob Steepley takes fourth with Matthew Johnson in fifth. Rupesh Manani yet again up there, he's in sixth with Ian Joyner recovering up to seventh place. Fair play, Ian. Jonathan Hobson up an astonishing 14 positions, attaboy. He takes eighth, with Tulka Baxter ninth, and Jeremy Childers rounding out your top 10.
At 11th place, we had Philip Falcon. At 12th, we had Bas Vanderlee. 13th, Brian Lenz. Timothy Yang was 14th. Rich Meesters, 15th. Andre Svoboda in 16th. Then we had Dominicus Conspicius in 17th. Ilari Arnio in 18th. Marcus Varpal in 19th. Michael Cords in 20th.
As we have a look here at 21st, that's going to be occupied by Charles Krasik with Kamal Kasim in 22nd. Lance Tamashiro takes 23rd with Sarunas Bruska in 24th. Kane Halliburton relegated back into 25th without a doubt. You can see why he's an academy coach, absolutely potent driver and indeed a talented coach as well. He's there in 25th with Steve Saunders in 26th. Definitely not the day he was looking for. Zoltan Zomator went in a little bit hot, but fair play to him, conceded and went into 27th with Kevin Adrian, the shirtless wonder himself, in 28th, Mark Schmurder in 29th, and then Manuel Hoffer rounding out your 30-car grid.
Out of breath, Sippy. But, wow. That was phenomenal.
Well, one thing we are going to be able to do, Richard, I understand you've been able to catch up with two-time winner here today at Navarra, Kyle Diaz-Castro, the Almeida Racing Academy Chief Operating Officer.
Chief Operating Officer. Well, I better watch my P's and Q's. Kyle, congratulations. Quite the exciting racing, all three races, and you had some great results.
I'm questioning that third race, though. I don't know if I took out Kane or not. It was heat of the moment.
We watched a replay on it during the live race action, and we reserved judgment. We'll just say that. How's that? It looked like maybe a little bit of netcode, a little bit of delayed, some sort of weird physics, we'll call it. How's that?
It doesn't make me feel any better.
Make sure check clears. Make sure the check clears, Richard, before we give him benefit of the doubt.
Well, okay. We'll ignore that incident then for the time being. But this track and these cars provided a level of race action, the closeness. I mean, all three races, every corner, every other corner, it seemed there was a pass for the lead.
Oh yeah, it's kind of hard to like really judge it at all at any point of the race. Like you can be in the front, leaving the final corner, going down to the checkered flag and still lose, or even be second or third. There's just so much draft, and the corners are kind of tricky to not spin the wheels on. Like almost every single corner, you can easily spin the rears and just lose all momentum. So you have to be really careful with that.
Well, you certainly did a good job of that. Man, I don't even know what to say, Kyle. It's always entertaining to watch you race. We've got another race next week. How are you going to do next week? You think you're going to have these kind of results again? Or, I mean, so far, every time I seem to broadcast, you're right at the front and battling for the lead or outright winning.
Next week, I hear there's a chance of rain, and I don't know. Rain really brings out different types of drivers. Some of the mid-pack drivers are better in the rain than they are in the dry, so you never know. And I'm not too familiar with that track either, so I'm gonna have to spend a lot of time learning it. So I have some medium confidence that I'll be competitive, but whether or not I have the pace or the racecraft to beat these fantastic drivers that we have in Split One, I don't know. This is very fierce competition here.
Oh, it certainly is, as was demonstrated by the racing today. And, Kyle, congratulations on your race victories today. You're either second place. Anybody you'd like to thank, or any words you'd like to say?
Thanks to Ian for his efforts and time. He's been not only a rival of mine, but he's also been a mentor. We've been spending some extra time outside of the, our regular practices and learning parties and stuff like that. He'll be sitting down with me, trying to help me figure out why earlier in the season I've been struggling with learning this car and keeping up the pace. I always felt like I was half a second to a second slower than everybody. But we've been working together to figure out that, and we might have unlocked something this week. I made some changes to my settings and it did make a huge difference, but whether or not it'll make a difference every week, we'll find out. So
awesome. Well, congratulations. We'll see what happens next week in the possibility of rain. So that was Kyle Diaz Castro, folks.
See ya.
Well, we have managed to catch up with another potent force. Is Ian joining us? Certainly, Ian. We were just hearing Kyle Diaz Castro singing your praises. I'm not sure how much you've paid him, but certainly money well spent. And if not, your history here in the Almeida Racing League stands unchallenged. But what an absolute belter of an event. Certainly a little bit unfortunate there in the final race, but fair play. Looks like Navarra really putting up a challenging set of circumstances.
Yeah, I think we got loads of practice in this week. I think lots of people in the league, including the coaches as well last night. And there's only 3 corners, right? So there's not even, in some ways it was massively about racecraft. I think generally speaking, everyone was quite sharp. So it was always going to be a really close and hard fought fight going in, which it certainly was. Kyle was brilliant from a racecraft point of view. I think he says himself a few times, he's particularly strong in the wheel-to-wheel stuff. So that first race was just amazing, really, to do that. When we're opposite sides of the Atlantic, latency, but just wheel side by side over and over and over again. A little unlucky with a bump with Rupesh. To be honest, I thought I might still get that first race, but then again, all credit to Kyle. He just did a better job on the exit. I had a plan, and he just executed better on that last corner. And then it was brilliant fun with Kane and Kyle on that last race, and it's just really unfortunate with Zoltan, especially the fact it kind of ended up being multiple contacts and ended up facing the wrong way.
Well, certainly fair play to you. You did manage to recover up to P number 7. But Ian, from what I'm hearing, it's going to be a little bit of a wet forecast next week at Rudskogen, and certainly I know of one particular driver who we both raced against, the likes of Kevin Adrian, who in the rain is an absolute weapon. Do you think the rain is going to make it a little bit easier for you, if anything, a little bit more challenging for you, going against the top split here of the Almeida Racing League?
I don't think it can really make it easier. We'll see. I don't know what the forecast is going to be. We normally run fixed. I know the coaches have dropped a couple of hints about maybe doing a wet one. So I don't know. I don't know if we'll have genuinely open conditions. I think that's the biggest difference when it's fixed. You kind of know pretty close what it's going to be like. With if it might be wet, it might not be wet, or it might be really wet, or it might be a tiny bit wet, or it might be drying. There's so many more scenarios, and which is really good. It tests your adaptability, much more than just how well you're prepared. So yeah, Kevin's always done well at that. So that would be nice to see. I don't think we've done a wet race for ages. So I've done them in the past. But it just makes things so much more unpredictable. And those moments where I died in this one are going to happen more because it's just so much easier to get into trouble on the brakes than the wet. But I think the academy is ready for it. So,
well, certainly, I am absolutely looking forward to it. But Richard, I understand you've been able to catch up with the second place finisher in the main feature race. It's Kevin Lau.
Hey, Kevin, congratulations. Some issues for you in race 1, not necessarily your fault, and then that meant you had to battle hard in race 2 to finish where you did, but you put it all together in race 3, and you really finished strong despite late incident. You still brought it back home in P2. You must have been thrilled being able to get back all the way up there.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunate circumstances in that last corner. It's hard to pass. But also when you lose the draft, you're just kind of gone. So the heats really helped out in that regard, and really staying out of trouble. I think there were quite a few flying cars and a bunch of smoke from my front view. So I'm just happy to stay out of that.
Yeah, you had that great battle with Kane in the third race, and really, I mean, it's got to make you feel good when you're battling hard against a guy like Kane Halbert, and you're holding your own, and not just holding your own, you're passing him here and there. He's passing you. Unfortunately, you got caught up in that incident a little bit and moved, I think, back all the way to 5th. But did you think you were going to get back to where you were? I mean, I thought that was just incredible the way you were able to get back up there.
I just head down and drove what I could, just keeping the car on the limit as much as I could, because at a certain point, there's only so much you can do, and I needed a mistake from the guys ahead at that point. So a little bit of contact at the turn 6, and then I just snuck down the inside right behind Kyle. So that's just how racing goes. Sometimes you're on the receiving end of a bump, and then sometimes you get to pick up the pieces.
Race 1 wasn't yours. Race 3 was. Overall, you've got to be pretty pleased, I think. And next week we go to Redskogen. How's it going to go for you? Are you excited about that? Are you excited about the possibility of maybe a rain race there?
I think maybe we need to work on momentum management. Perhaps if Connor's listening, it's time to rerun that momentum workshop, so we can get a good recording for that. Otherwise, I think it's definitely a very technical track. Lots of a lot less drafting, so I think it's going to rely a lot more on skill, as far as I recall, or like keeping the car on the limit through all the corners. So we'll see how it goes. I think it's going to suit those with pure pace a little bit more than someone with like me who tends to favor racecraft a little bit. I think my racecraft is probably a little bit stronger than my general pace. So it's just an opportunity for improvement.
Well, that's what we like to see. It's hard to improve from P2, but there's always P1 up there, Kevin. Congratulations. You had your trials and tribulations today, but you made the best of it. You got to be pretty happy with the way it all worked out. We're looking forward to seeing what you do next week at Redskogen.
Thanks.
Come Tuesday, who knows, when I get my 20-second penalty, he might be the race winner after all.
Well, I also had it coming together with Tim, so we'll see.
Wah, wah, wah.
We might get a new winner, actually, after all is said and done.
Hey, Anthony Ori would be very happy with that. Not that much penalties, Rich, but certainly an absolute pleasure to speak to you guys in the booth. But while we do have everybody here, let's talk a little bit about what's going to be coming up in the not too distant future. We are going to be having that special event here, and it is timed perfectly to be that when the Almeida Racing Academy has finished, they've finished their round, it is the week after. So anybody who wants to take part, all you have to have done is been in the Pit Road Productions broadcast. Indeed, if you're here, you probably have. It's going to be Saturday, September the 12th at 12 o'clock Eastern. Certainly it took me a little bit of a second there. And what are we doing? We're going to be running the late model melee. We're going to be taking that out around Virginia International Raceway. Well, okay, that's a fun race, but what's different? Well, here's the thing. It's fixed setup, and there is going to be no damage and no incident point. We are going to encourage you to trade paint, bang doors, but politely put, don't be a fill in the blank. That's what we're looking for. We want you guys to race your hearts out and see who can come out on top. There's going to be 2 races. We're probably going to broadcast it as well. So if you want to be involved, just make sure you apply to that league. 13943. Get your applications in, and we would love to see as many as possible of you guys coming out there. But what an absolute pleasure it's been here today for the Almeida Racing League. My name is Daniel Zippy Salmon, and joining me in the production booth today, and hopefully again next week, is Richard Swindells. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you at the same time in 1 week's time.
Now he's here teaching all his secrets to all these drivers. This is Almeida Racing Academy,
where every champion has a starting line.
The sim racer turned real world superstar, Suelio Almeida.
It's Connor Bell racing in his own backyard for the very first time in the NASCAR Canada Series.
The workshops helped out so much. Something about battling with somebody faster than you, it just pushes you that little bit further, and I was able to just keep developing my skill.
I can kind of commit more with the exit there. That was good. If you do take sim racing seriously, it does impact your racing technique for the rest of your life.
I know how the car is going to perform around these corners because of the model I have in the sim. Just the benefit of sim racing when you go into real life, I don't think people quite realize it yet.
You have infinite track time is the biggest factor. You are able to try so many things, and the physics that are simulated in the sim nowadays, especially iRacing, are so close to real life.
Creating champions.
Troy Almeida is a master at his craft. He's outclassed a Le Mans driver, a European Le Mans Series racer.
These guys are among the top 0.02% in the world.
Designed to create champions.
First NASCAR Canada start. First NASCAR victory for Connor Bell.
Connor Bell standing on the podium here today.
This is the Almeida Racing Academy 3.0.
Way to race, buddy. Way to race.